this word, entrepreneur. I remember visiting a friend out at Stanford, and he told me how funny it was that all of his friends' parents were entrepreneurs. To us, this was a very vague term. We were from a small town north of Boston where everyone's parents had jobs. They were doctors or lawyers, maybe teachers or salespeople. To say that everyone's parents were entrepreneurs, well, this was like calling them pioneers or explorers. These days, it's pretty hard to ignore the word entrepreneur. It's no longer isolated out in California. It permeates this city. It seems like everyone I meet here has aspirations of building the next game-changing app or a website. Entrepreneur is a word that's used to describe so many young upstarts of my generation. With it comes visions of flip-flops in the office and millions of dollars of venture capital funding. It's also a word that's used to describe me. And while I do wear flip-flops in the office, I'm hardly the type of entrepreneur that my peers instantly admire or aspire to be. 2 years ago, I started my company with $40,000 of savings, and I've been growing it quickly, but on a limited budget ever since. My company is Baking for Good. It's an online bakery inspired by the idea of a bake sale. We bake all kinds of delicious brownies and cookies, whoopie pies. They can be delivered anywhere in the country, and 15% of the proceeds from each purchase goes to a charity that the customer chooses. From outside appearances, we're a big success, with 200 plus charity partners, features on the Today Show and ABC, corporate clients like Google and Bank of America. But on the inside, I'd call us a little success. We're currently a team of 3. Each morning, I wake up at 5, ride 3 subway lines to get to our bakery in Queens, package hundreds of cookies before the sun comes up, and still make it back into the office, in my living room, by 9 to get a start on the day. Entrepreneur? Sure, but it's pretty hard to recognize myself when I watch The Social Network or read about Groupon's IPO. A few weeks ago, I spoke on a panel to a group of business school students here in the city. As I was describing my process of bootstrapping my company, it became pretty clear that I was quite different from the other entrepreneurs on the panel, each of whom introduced themselves by stating their name and how many millions of dollars of venture capital funding they had raised. One of the panelists, who had recently raised $4 million, piped in to provide a distinction between me, as a small business owner, casually going about my day, and him, as a real entrepreneur, with a rocket strapped to his back. In the moment, I wasn't quite sure how to respond. Was he right? Was he that much more of an entrepreneur than me because he had this $4 million rocket strapped to his back? What I didn't recognize in the moment, and what I'm afraid we're all too accustomed to overlook, is that I too have a rocket strapped to my back. In my case, it's my own rocket. It's fueled by my passion for my company and my customers and my products. It's powered by the joy I feel at creating a business that lets people send gifts they love to friends and family, near and far, in good times and bad. We've baked for people's weddings and baby showers. We've baked for 5-year-olds' birthdays and 90-year-olds' birthdays. We've baked to say I'm sorry, and we've baked to say, thank you, Enterprise, for finding my lost wedding ring in your rental complex. These days, when we talk about entrepreneurship and encourage people to pursue their own ideas, I wish we spent more time telling them that they can build something from nothing, and less time telling them that they need heaps of cash in order to start something of value. Outside investment does not an entrepreneur make. The most intrepid entrepreneurs I know are the ones who forge ahead with all their guts and drive and willingness to eat peanut butter and jelly every day till they make it, not the ones who rely on safety nets and know that they can always move on to the next adventure if this one doesn't work out. Entrepreneurship has the power to change our lives. We should be thrilled that so many people are excited to pursue this path. But instead of focusing on the $4 million rockets and billion-dollar valuations, we should spend more time going back to the heart of what entrepreneurship is all about. It's about building something new, creating something awesome, moving the world forward, day by day, customer by customer, and in my case, brownie by brownie.
So